I'd like to welcome everyone here to the June 8, 2015 meeting of the Caldwell County Board of Education. We're happy you're here, and we know that we've got a lot of people to recognize tonight, and we're very pleased to be able to do that. 2.5 days left, so school's about over for the year, and it's a very busy week for everyone, I'm sure. And we got graduations coming up on Thursday for the traditional high schools. All of those will take place at 7 o'clock. South Caldwell will be at the football stadium. The others will be in the gyms, those at West and at High Brighton. And we just hope that as you move forward into the summer, that you have a great summer and that you're able to enjoy a lot of good time with your family and friends. We're going to move on with the invocation to the board tonight, led by our fellow board member, Mrs. Teresa Branch.
Let us pray. Thank you, Lord, for the boys and girls, moms and dads, and educators here tonight to celebrate good things happening in Caldwell County schools. Be with us all as we move into summertime. Keep our children safe as they run and play, catch lightning bugs, and let their imaginations soar. Be with all the educators this summer. Help them to take some extra time for themselves and for their families. Be with our board and all the leaders of Caldwell County Schools as we make decisions that guide teaching and learning. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Teresa. I don't intend to sing happy birthday, but we do want to wish you a happy birthday yesterday. So
Thank you.
I'm not going to say. I was just going to make a comment that.
Yes.
Anyway, happy birthday. Next, we have the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have several of students from Laurel Creek. They are on the representatives from the school's student council, and they are Sam Dyer, Ethan Laws, Ansley Norris, Aubrey Norris, Kathy Clark, and Carly Watson. If they'll come forward, and everyone please stand.
Guys, if you'll turn to the flag. Right, there's a good spot.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for being here.
Oh, and we enjoyed the Laurel Creek capsule bury, the time capsule burying on Friday. That was very nice. And these guys, I think, kind of put that on for us.
They did. It was student facilitated.
Very nice.
Very good. Next, we have the approval of the agenda, and the board has had an opportunity to look over the agenda. Do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda as presented?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion passes. Next is the approval of the minutes. On May the 11th, we had our regular board meeting, but it was preceded by a public hearing at 5:30. And the board has had opportunity to review both sets of minutes for that particular day. Do I hear a motion that we approve the minutes of the public hearing as well as the regular board meeting on May 11th?
I make a motion we approve the minutes of May 11th.
Is there a second? Okay, any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. Now tomorrow, we're going to have across the street at Civic Center the Accelerated Reader Awards event. If you have an opportunity to come over there, we're going to be recognizing over 400 students that have read over 1 million words. So we're very, very proud of that. But that'll be in two different groups. First group is at 5 o'clock and the second group is at 6:30. So if you have an opportunity to come, and we may even see some of these students there again tomorrow night, But anyway, I'm sure the board will probably be there to support those students. At this time, we're going to move on with the honors and recognition. I'd like to recognize our Community Relations Director, Ms. Libby Brown. She's going to come forward and read these names, and the board's going to move down front to congratulate each of these people.
Thank you, Chairman Pennell, Board of Education members, and Dr. Stone. It is indeed our pleasure to recognize the students whose artwork has been selected for the Education Center Art Gallery. So this is our last group of students for the 2014-2015 school year, and their artwork will be on display the entire summer. So parents, please come back and enjoy your students' artwork in the months of June, July, and August. So it's indeed our pleasure to recognize your children tonight. We're going to start with Baton Elementary School, and Jason T. Taylor is the principal, and Jenny Green is the art teacher. And Ashton Edwards, 5th grade, is in the Education Center Art Gallery. Then we have Jeslyn Crow, also a 5th grader at Baton Elementary School. Is Jeslyn? Yes, Jeslyn is here. Jeslyn. We have Davenport A+ School, Julia Knight, principal, and Dabney Smith, the art teacher. Aubrey McCall. Aubrey is in the 2nd grade. And we have Corbin Riley. Corbin is also in the 2nd grade. Corbin's here. And we have Veronica Talbert. And Veronica is a 4th grader. Veronica here this evening? Okay. We have Dudley Shoals Elementary, Gwen Roop, principal, Alexis Buchanan, art teacher, and Skylar Stevens, and I met Skylar earlier. Skylar Stevens, a 2nd grader from Dudley Shoals. And for Granite Falls Elementary, Chris Green is the principal, and Millie Hefner is the art teacher. Addison Whitman. Addison is a 1st grader. And we'll do one more school. Oak Hill School. Chris Ackerman is the principal. He's here this evening. Is the art teacher, and Alyssa Teachout, a 2nd grader, is the art student whose artwork is on display. Is Lydia here? Okay, so do you want to take a break here for parents to get a photo?
All right, come on around and.
There. Help her do her turn.
Keep smiling so all the cameras can stop. Great job.
Next, we have Sawmills Elementary, Lowell Rogers principal, Brad Wright, art teacher, and Brad's here this evening. Emma Ingram, 4th grader. We're going to move to middle school. We have Granite Falls Middle School. Bill Schreiber is here with us, the principal. Mary Rizzo is the art teacher, and Katie Pottle, 8th grader, is the art student. I'm not sure if Katie is here this evening. Bill is here with us. Hudson Middle School, Bill Griffin is principal, and Kelly Woody, art teacher. They're both here with us this evening. Daniel Carroll is an 8th grader. So Daniel is an 8th grader, soon to graduate from Hudson Middle School. Daniel with us? He's celebrating early. Okay, Kelly's here. William Lenore Middle School, Lisa Vaughn. Leah Crump is art teacher. Lisa is the principal. Sarah Moore, 7th grader. And Novena Persisco, 8th grader. And the last 2 schools are high schools. So we're going to do South Caldwell High School. Principal Mike Peak, I don't think he's with us, but Julie Hall, the assistant principal, is with us this evening. And Jamie Stewart is the art teacher. Kaylee Reese, a junior at South Caldwell High School. And West Caldwell High School, Andy Poole is principal. Kevin Abey is art teacher. I know Mr. Poole is here this evening. Megan Nicholson is a junior. So I think... Congratulations to all of our art students and parents. You now can take photos if you'd like. As you recall, in April, we recognized students who were selected to attend North Carolina Governor's School this summer in 2015. We have been notified that another student, Michaela Martin, junior at South Caldwell High School, will be attending Governor's School West in Winston-Salem in dance. And as I have just been told this evening by the AIG director, Dr. Phyllis Blair, that this is the first student who has ever attended dance from the Caldwell County Schools. So this is a unique opportunity. And Michaela was selected based on her grades, aptitude, achievement test scores, and teacher recommendations. We are proud that Michaela will have the opportunity to attend and to represent the Caldwell County school system in this prestigious program. So congratulations. Ann Bentley, South Caldwell High School Spanish teacher, is here this evening, and she is the recipient of a special award sponsored by the North Carolina Association of Educators. So we have a representative here this evening from NCAE. They would like to come forward. Okay. And I'm going to let them have the honors of presenting this to Ann Bentley. Yes, thank you. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
We will. Chairman Pennell, members of the board, and Dr. Stone, Colleen Lanier, NCAE Uniserve, and you probably know Sandra, who is the local president. I want to share with you about the Linda Rader Outstanding Professional Educator Award. Linda Rader was the state NCAE president. She was also an active leader and educator in Gaston County. This may give some of you an idea, but when she passed away, she left part of her money to Gaston County for professional development, and then she left some of it for NCAE, for us to award outstanding educators. So we are so pleased to recognize Ann tonight. The selection committee looks for people who are lifelong learners and willing to share the things they learn with others, how they advocate for others locally and statewide, how they share what they learn with the students and their colleagues. This year, the commission had quite a few people who were applying for this, so they are giving 2 awards. And each of these recipients is going to receive $1,500 toward her project or her goal. Ann Bentley has the goal, she's at South Caldwell, as a language teacher to inspire students and increase their curiosity to experience and explore on their own. She uses cultural experiences to introduce them to the world outside their back door and inspire them to realize there are many opportunities to learn and to make an impact on our global neighborhood. She's going to use the Linda Rader Award for her upcoming travel experiences to Costa Rica and Nicaragua, where she will take lessons there and learn them and share when she comes back with others. Congratulations, Ann Bentley. We look forward to hearing about your adventures. And her family is here.
Come on up. Come on up, Doug. Come on down. You will shake everyone's hands and we'll take a picture with the family. Hey, Bud.
Thank you very much. Maybe go out and your mom help us out.
We'll take a group picture. What are they going to do while you're in Costa Rica? Good job.
Jill Duffy's here this evening. Okay, you want to skip her to July? Okay. Kathy Jo Eckerd, Career Technical Education Director, has been named the Northwest Regional Administrator of the Year. Kathy Jo will be recognized at the CTE Summer Conference and will represent the Northwest District in the selection of the North Carolina CTE Administrator of the Year. So congratulations to our own Kathy Jo Eckerd. Dr. Lisa Widener, Title I Director for the Caldwell County Schools, has been recognized for her leadership and dedicated service by the National Association of Federal Education Program Administrators, which is a support organization for educators who work with federally funded programs in their local school districts and in their states. So congratulations to Dr. Widener for receiving this prestigious award. Okay. And we have 2 more administrators who have received recognition recently. Anna Crook of Gamewell Elementary and Julie Hall of South Caldwell, both assistant principals, were recently recognized as Future Ready Leaders. Through this cohort-driven model, they participated in face-to-face sessions and engaged in assignments, projects, and readings designed to build the capacity of their schools and their own capacity as future-ready school leaders. So congratulations to both of our assistant principals. And someone has to get in the middle.
Julie, come on around. We'll just ask you don't stand in front of Doc. Teresa, we need to get you a little edge too, don't we? Tricia, you want to come around a little bit?
And now we have the honor to recognize our employees for advanced degrees and master's degrees, and they have pursued educational degrees to further their professions, so they're being an excellent role model to their students, and to have a deeper understanding of curriculum and pursuits as an administrator in the Caldwell County Schools. So we're going to start with Kristen Austin. Kristen is a 4th grade teacher at Baton Elementary, and her master's degree is in reading education from Appalachian State University. Allison Otten, family consumer science teacher at West Caldwell High School, master's degree in child development from Appalachian State University. Dawn Dellinger, music teacher at Sawmills Elementary School, master's degree of music education from Appalachian State University. Emerald Franklin, Math 2 teacher at Caldwell Early College High School, master's degree of arts in executive leadership from Gardner-Webb University. Dawn Hinlin, 6th grade English Language Arts teacher at Gamel Middle School, master's degree of school administration from Appalachian State University. Todd King, Study Island Coordinator and Technology Facilitator, Hudson Middle School, master's degree in educational media, leadership, and educational studies with concentration in instructional technology specialist, computers from Appalachian State University. Monica Martin, instructional facilitator, master's degree of school administration from Appalachian State University. Monica here? Okay. Anna Marie Stuckey. Anna Marie Stuckey, media coordinator at Whitnell Elementary School. Degree certificate in school leadership from Appalachian State University. And we have one more, Corey Trivet. Corey Trivet, history teacher at West Caldwell High School. Master's degree of Arts in Executive Leadership from Gardner-Webb University. So congratulations to our teachers and media coordinators and instructional facilitators. Very proud of them.
Corey, you probably you were on the end, and Todd, you and Todd probably need to be on the end, I'm thinking. So, this one.
Congratulations. We're very proud of them, and we hope they have a great summer. They've earned it, right?
We appreciate all of you being here, and We're going to continue with our meeting. You're welcome to stay, but this will be an appropriate time if you need to get home for dinner or baseball or whatever it might be. But anyway, thank you for being here tonight.
Have a great summer, everyone. Darryl, you can clear.
Is public comment, and as of 4:30 this afternoon we had no public comment, so I'm going to turn it over now to our superintendent, Dr. Steve Stone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Darryl told you we're counting, 2.5 days left for students, about 4.5 days left for staff, or maybe even 3.5, so I know this summer is coming quickly. Our next meeting, of course, the main meeting will be in July, and we'll have some other issues to talk about then, personnel, but I want to talk briefly right now about some board policy revisions. If you'll call your attention to Exhibit 2. As you know, the Board of Education's policy manual is like a moving target. Every time the General Assembly changes a law or modifies it slightly, or there's a new law, our board policy must be updated to meet that requirement. So what you have in front of you in your Exhibit 2, you have about 10 policies that have some, not little small minor changes, but a minor change to me would be a period, comma, or a different law, citing a different law. But these are about 10 policies that have a little bit more structure to them. These are required by law, by the General Session of 2014. So you see that they're here, and I would like to recommend that these be placed on 1-month comment period. There are additional policies, but these would be the commas and the period and the law citing. So we'd like to recommend that these be placed on 1-month comment period.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the revisions as Dr. Stone has proposed those, as the state has proposed those, but as he has indicated in regards to various policies that the school board has? Do I hear a motion that we approve for a 30-day comment period the proposed revisions to the board policy? Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion we approve the amendments to the revisions for a 30-day comment period.
Second.
Okay, any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. Anything else, Dr. Stone?
That's it for me.
All right, next on the agenda is the Associate Superintendent for Human Resource Services, Dr. Trish Johnson.
That's quick. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Stone, I have 3 items for your attention this evening. Exhibit 3 includes usual and customary personnel items that require no action but for your information only. Then looking at Exhibit 4, there are usual and customary personnel items, but as you know now, we no longer recommend for tenure. We have to recommend for renewal of a contract. So you have recommendations for renewal of contracts for the 2015-16 school year. You also have, they're not non-renewals, but they're end of temporary and interim contracts for the 2014-15 year that you will be taking action on. I respectfully recommend approval of these items as they have been presented to you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the personnel items as presented to us by Dr. Johnson.
Second motion.
Okay, any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
And the last item, Exhibit 6, includes student transfer requests since your last board meeting. We had a total of 77 requests for student transfers. Of the 77 requests, 74 meet established board criteria. We respectfully recommend approval of the 74 that meet your criteria. If approved tonight, that would bring the total 2015-16 student transfer request to 399. Respectfully recommend approval of these transfers.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the 2015-16 student transfers as presented?
I make a motion we approve the student transfers as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you.
Next, we have Associate Superintendent for Education Program Services, Dr. Carol Burns.
And for the first board action, I forgot and I didn't tell Carol or didn't work it out. So anyway, Kathy Jo is going to present the CTE plan. Dr. Burns is going to be her backup and answer any of the tough questions that you have about the CTE plan. So Kathy Jo. Just remember, save your hard questions for Carol. She will be the expert on the CTE plan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, board members, and Dr. Stone. It's a pleasure to be here tonight and talk to you briefly about the CTE local plan. And I'm always very excited to continue this plan and update it and hopefully get our money for next year. We have some great things going on in Caldwell County. As you've seen throughout the year, many activities, many great things with the curriculum, some new programs, outstanding teachers. I have to brag on the CTE teachers across the county. They are just tremendous and work very hard for their students and their programs. Our local plan involves different parts, and the first one is an overall strategic plan, and then we have strategies and updates to our performance indicators that we are held accountable to. And I just want to briefly touch on some of those that are listed in your executive summary, because these are very important. I discussed these with our teachers and CTE staff as to why we're doing these things and what we need to accomplish and how we help the entire school system in meeting these indicators. We are helping our entire school system and our students. The first two are about the academic areas. And we are accountable to help improve achievement in reading, language arts, and mathematics. And of course, we're measured in the reading, language arts by the English 2 EOC, and in mathematics by the Math 2 EOC. So our teachers support and enhance instruction in those areas in their CTE programs, because technical skills they're learning involve a lot of reading and a lot of math, highly technical math. So we did very well in those areas. You can see Caldwell County achieved way above statewide performance, 91.4% in language arts and 89.8% in mathematics. Then in indicator 3, we get to what we're all about, and that's the technical skills we're teaching our students in our programs. Our teachers do very well with this, and we have our own EOCs, which are CTE post-assessments, and we achieved 84.8% and above the statewide performance. So that's why I'm very pleased with our teachers. Next, it's about completing high school. Number 4 is about completion of high school, and we achieved an astounding 98.7%. But the next one I really want to emphasize is the graduation rate, which is our cohort of CTE concentrators, those that have completed a CTE program of study. And so they measure their graduation rate. And those students are at 99%, which to me says if they are in a CTE concentration, they are more likely to graduate from high school. The sixth one is about placement, and we're held accountable to help our students gain employment, move on to post-secondary education, whether it's community college, apprenticeship, or university, or help them into the military. And we achieved 92.9%. That has increased somewhat throughout the years. It's just a tad bit below statewide performance, but I think we do very well for where we are. Our teachers are really helping our students realize what's ahead of them when they graduate from high school. Indicator 7 and 8 is about non-traditional students, and that means any students that are in a program that's more of the opposite gender. So our nursing program, if we have males in that course, that would be a non-traditional student. And young females in masonry, carpentry, and so forth. So we do a good job in helping students see the benefit of taking these courses, and they may enter, and that's our participation rate. And then, but completion, sometimes they get in there for different reasons. They find out, they think, I think I'll join masonry because it's full of young men, and find out, no, that's not for them. But we have some females that do outstanding in masonry. So, and what I say, anybody can achieve anything in any program area. It depends on where their interests lie. So I think we do an outstanding job in all those areas. And with that, I just want to mention programs and services. We do a lot of different things. I think we've had an increased importance of credentialing, and a lot of our courses have available an industry credential where they can take a statewide industry test like CNA, or it's a national credential that they can take. And they pass, and this is something that just helps them in employment. Of course, we have Project Lead the Way curriculum throughout, which increases the STEM achievement across the board. You can see our projected activities. We have an emphasis in certain areas. And probably, let's see, 4 of these is all about collaboration among the community. And I feel like our program, and I have the opportunity to work with community college, the EDC, the chamber, all sorts of folks, and it's very rewarding, and I believe everybody has come together to help our students in Caldwell County. So we have a lot of different things going on, a lot of opportunities for our students, as well as our teachers. We have our Hired Ed event that's happening next week, where we have teachers that are going to be immersed in industry for 3 days. I work very closely with Deborah Murray at the EDC to get this event planned, and collaborated with many different partners on that. An area that we're looking at, and from events like this and working with industry in the college, we see where our programs need to head. And that's why we put in Project Lead the Way, the engineering, the STEM areas, to help our students in that area. Something else we're looking at is more computer science. We know that's needed. So we've added AP computer science courses at 2 of our high schools. We're looking at adding, well, we have a teacher from the Career Center going to Project Lead the Way. They have a new course in computer science and engineering. She's going to training this summer to add that at the Career Center. And of course, we have Project Lead the Way computer science at William Menor right now. She piloted that. And we have Randy Seldenbridge going to training this summer in the computer science. So we're very excited about all the opportunities for our students. So I just respectfully request approval of our 2015-16 local plan.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the 2015-16 CTE local plan as it's been presented.
Second.
Any comments or questions? Dr. Burns, you anything to add? Any questions?
The statistics are really, really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I was very impressed. We're above the state.
Everybody that's involved in that.
Right, we're above the state in almost everything.
Mhm.
So that's great. Thank you so much for what you do.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. Thank you, Kathy Jo, appreciate it. Dr. Burns.
Okay, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, Dr. Stone, each year we will have to designate the accountability model that we're going to use for alternative schools. And you just did this because in December, that's when the legislation was passed by, that was passed, it's new, but we have to do this for this next school year. So just let me tell you briefly, there are 4 ways to do it. That the alternative schools can participate in the accountability model. One, they can do what everybody else is doing, which is a little punitive to them. The second one, they can send all the results back to the home school, and sometimes they would like to do that, but home schools object a little bit to that. They can do what is called the progress model, or they can do alternate option D, which is set up your own model, and that's on a research basis, and that's very difficult for us to do. The schools prefer, and we prefer for them to use the progress model, and in the progress model, 20%, it counts 20% student persistence, and that's if the students stay in school all year, the entire year. 20% on school achievement, 60% on growth. Now, the regular schools would like to have that one. And then all of that's taken together and they're given a rating which is either progressing, maintaining, or declining. And so the schools request to be permitted to use option C, which is what they're doing this year. And we do need your approval to do that.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the 2015-2016 local accountability model for Horizons Elementary as well as Gateway School?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the 2015-16 local accountability options for Horizons Elementary and Gateway Schools as presented.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Burns. Appreciate it. Next, I'd like to recognize Mr. David Johnson, our Finance Director.
Mr. Chairman, board members, and Dr. Stone, I have 2 budget amendments tonight. The first one is for State Public School Fund. It is budget amendment number 18, if you'll notice. It is through revision number 43. We've had 43 revisions this year already. That will include substitute reimbursement through March and some school bus stop arm cameras and a couple other revisions that were requested by the LEA. The total amount of this revision is $25,113. The second one is for federal grant fund. It is budget amendment number 19. It's a decrease in PRC 105, which is Title I School Improvement Funds, of $9,714.09. These 2 amendments are approved tonight as presented. It'll bring the total budget for Caldwell County Schools to $120,605,911.42.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the budget amendments to the State Public School Fund and the Federal Grant Fund as presented?
Make a motion, we approve the budget amendments as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Next, we have some board information here, and I wanted to mention to you that on your at your station there, you have the evaluation instrument for the superintendent. It's that time of year again, so you might want to start working on that. The timetable for that is if you can have that back by our next board meeting. You can just bring it by the Ed Center and give it to Kathy or see that I get it in some way by the next board meeting in July. And then we'll we'll speak with Dr. Stone, we'll compile the statistics, and the report will come out in August, at our August meeting. Okay, Dwayne, did you have something you wanted to add?
Yes, I got one more announcement to make. This Saturday at Sawmills Veteran Park, which is off the Waterworks Road, there'll be a fundraiser for a 6th grade student at Oak Hill School, Mr. Will White, who is anticipating a heart transplant. There'll be softball games, inflatables, hot dogs, hamburgers, and all the proceeds everything's been donated, and all the proceeds will go to the Will White family. That's this Saturday.
Very good, very good.
You said that's at Sawmill?
Sawmills Veterans Park, which
Okay.
is off the Waterworks Road, which is off of Dry Ponds Road, correct?
Right. Mhm.
What time was that?
8 o'clock, starts at 8 on Saturday. What time is your wedding?
Great honeymoon spot.
Any other information items that anyone wants to share? Dr. Stone, you have any?
Just two quick little items. Just remind the board members that next Tuesday, we're having our retirement banquet, and so far we have 44 folks who are retiring, and I know it'd be very special if you could be there. That's at 11:30 at the Civic Center. We always have a nice event. We like to send off those who are, I'm sorry, Libby? Oh, I'll mention it too. So anyway, on Tuesday, next Tuesday, 11:30 at the Civic Center. Graduation, of course, coming up to this Thursday. Project graduation from 10 to 3 that night. For those of you that can make it, we hope to see some of you some of the time. But if you can make it, it's always a great event. And just for those who public may be watching this is something that's provided free of cost to students. If they bring a guest, they have to pay for that. It is also provided completely with grant money or funding, contributions, donations. Not a bit of state money or local money is used for that. Libby goes out and beats the bushes and gets a lot of financial contributions for that. It's all free to our seniors. It's kind of a send-off party in a nice drug, alcohol-free environment, very safe, law enforcement's there. It's really something special that Caldwell County does, and probably the only district in the state that still does it for all 3 of our high schools. So Libby's been working very hard on that. Would love to have you come out, early bowl. After you get out of your graduation, you've taken off your gown or whatever it is you're wearing and gotten into your regular clothes, come by and join us. You get there a little early, we'll have a guys versus the girls laser tag competition. So
Maybe bowling this year.
yeah, since we're not very good at it. The only other thing I'd like to mention to the board members and to the public is that we do have a House budget, we have a governor's budget, we're now waiting on the Senate budget. There was an indication it may come out this week, now they say it may not. But the House budget was pretty good to public education. We just hope the Senate budget will be as well. The House budget certainly is not as good as we had really. It could be but it is good in that it gives teachers and all state employees a raise. It also meets some needs that we need: driver's ed, teacher assistants, technology, and digital. So it's really a pretty good bill. There's a couple of things in there that may not be best, but overall it's good. So I had a chance to thank George Robinson today at a meeting, and he was very pleased to have that feedback. We will be watching the Senate budget. And once the Senate proposes its budget, then the House and Senate will have to get together in a compromise. And so we're hoping to have a budget soon, but it will probably be sometime in July, maybe early August. But we're watching the Senate for that. And so when you meet on the 29th, very good possibility that will be an interim budget, because by state law we have to have a budget starting July 1. So traditionally, I bet we've done this every year. We have an interim budget because the General Assembly hasn't given us a complete budget yet. The county commissioners, I think, are voting next Monday night on the local budget. The manager has recommended an additional $50,000 for Caldwell County schools, which we appreciate, and we really do appreciate the effort that they're making to help us. So that's where we stand with the budget. Really all eyes on Raleigh and watching the Senate right now.
Very good. The only other announcements would be our next meeting, which will be June 29th, here in the boardroom, and that will begin at 5 o'clock, and that is the special budget meeting. And then our regular board meeting will be on July the 13th here at the Ed Center. So any other comments or questions or anything? Do I hear a motion we adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And we are adjourned, and thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. And